Hey guys, Asal here, and welcome to another episode of Loadout, the series where you give me a full loadout customized just to your liking, and I'll run with it for a few games and I'll let you know what I think. And now guys, remember, if you want to see your own loadout featured on the next episode of Loadout, be sure to leave a comment down below with a full loadout. The more detailed the better, and I will pick one of the ones with the most upvotes to be featured in the next episode. And even if you're not gonna throw in a loadout, you can at least just go through there and find a few that you like and just give them some thumbs up just so that I know which ones you guys are wanting to see. Now today's loadout comes from J Smalls, and this is the Chinese Spec Ops loadout. So primary, we have the ACE-23 with the HD33 Chinese hollow sight, the tri-beam laser, the LS-06 suppressor, and the angled grip. The secondary is the QBZ-06. The third pistol is actually the QSZ-92, but that's fine, so that's the one I went with. And our attachments are the Delta RDS, flashlight, and the muzzle brake. And for our lethals, we have the mini grenades. Our field upgrade is the Grenadier. Gadget 1 is the M26 frag. Very funny. Nice one, J Smalls. And our Gadget 2 is the first aid pack. Have fun with the loadout. Now right away I will say that I didn't actually get all of the attachments for the pistol just because for time's sake it would have taken a long time, and for what it's worth I might only use the pistol once or twice in the video, so for what it's worth I just didn't do that. I just used the pistol as it was, so I really hope that's okay with you, Jay. Sorry about that, man. Now onto the actual weapon itself, the ACE-23, considered by many to be the best weapon in the game, though that of course is widely contested. It is a very similar assault rifle to the M416 if you are familiar with that at all. It has a little bit of a longer reload time than the M416, which is not the end of the world, and the fire rate is 770 compared to the 750 of the M416, and the recoil is a little bit better on the ACE-23. So basically it fires a little bit faster, it has a little better recoil pattern, and it reloads a little slower, but pretty much in every other category the ACE-23 is pretty much like the M416. They are very similar weapons, and they are also both very good weapons at that. Now I was finding that with this weapon, range, up close, and even mid-range were all working just fine for me. I really couldn't come up with any complaints. I mean, the only real complaints I have with this loadout, honestly, are the attachments that you picked because they were so hard to unlock, and I didn't actually even get to some of them. But I mean, aside from that, the gun itself is a very solid gun. 770 is a very well-rounded rate of fire, useful in pretty much any situation. Up close, it's quite speedy, and at far away tap firing, the recoil pattern is quite nice. So really any situation, this gun is able to hold its own, and you can make it work with pretty much whatever you're given. Now, something really unfortunate that happened with this weapon was the LS-06 suppressor was glitched for whatever reason. It took 160 kills to unlock, and I'm thinking, hey, I should have had this by now, and I checked and it says 180 out of 160 kills not unlocked, and I was getting pretty annoyed, so I had to wait for a battle pack one, and by the time I finally got one I pretty much had all the footage, so unfortunately we didn't really get much suppressed gameplay. Now another thing I wasn't able to get was the tri-beam laser, as that was also a battle pack attachment, and it just took me so long to get. I never actually even got it just because I wasn't getting very lucky with my battle packs. But anyways, the regular laser sight does exactly the same thing as the tri-beam laser. They are just aesthetically different. Now I'm not a big fan of the tri-beam laser because the regular laser sight kind of gives you away enough as it is, but a tri-beam laser is just like a beacon. If you're around a corner and someone just sees your 3 dots on the wall, I've done this before, it's just so obvious right where you're sitting. So I'm not a big advocate of the tri-beam laser, and I really just prefer the regular laser, just the red one, not the green one. The green one I find is also a little bit too obvious, so red laser I generally find the most inconspicuous. Now the first shot recoil on this weapon is a 2x multiplier, and the angled grip brought it down even more, making it super easy to tap fire over long ranges and just have super accurate shots for taking out enemies, because the regular recoil pattern was pretty easy to deal with, so I can't really see any need for like a muzzle brake or a compensator. The recoil is really not that bad to deal with in the first place, so I really like the addition of the angled grip. Now the M26 frag, I was pretty annoyed when I saw this as part of the loadout just because I did a video on the frag runs previously and I was just pulling my hair out with frustration. Though I will say it is definitely better as a gadget. You don't have to use it all the time, and you can just use it anytime you want. You need instant splash damage, so I found it pretty useful for that, though it's not like, I wouldn't say it's a go-to gadget. I don't see why you wouldn't just go for the 320 HE 40mm grenade launcher, because that does probably a lot more splash damage. No, it does do a lot more splash damage than the frag rounds. So, I mean, it's not like great, but I will say I gained a little bit more respect for the frag rounds. And the fact that we had the Grenadier field upgrade was nice because that means we take a little less damage from explosives, so I was less likely to kill myself with the frag rounds, which I did a lot previously with the QBS-09, so it was nice to save myself from that embarrassment of killing myself with my own ammunition. And that's just what wraps up today's episode of Loadout. Now guys, remember, if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. I always appreciate those, and if you want to see more Battlefield content, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So guys, remember, if you want to see your loadout featured on the next episode, be sure to leave a comment down below. And guys, if you want to get in touch with me for whatever reason, tweet me on Twitter, follow me. That's the best place to do that as far as getting a quick response. Now guys, remember to load up those comments so I can load them out. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.